Om Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamatsyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Hari Om everybody and welcome to this class after a couple of months of holidays. So before we broke off for the summer, we completed chapter 7, and in the last verse of chapter 7, Bhagwan introduced a few new words. So verse 30 of chapter 7, Sadi Bhutadi Daivam Mam Sadi Yadnyam Chaye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichate Mam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. Those who know me with the Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, and the Adi Yagnya, all perceptions, even at the time of death, steadfast in mind, know me. So it's a big statement, because if we know these three words, then at the time of death, we'll know him and then we'll go to him. So it's a big statement. Bhagwan has done that on purpose. The continuation of chapter 7 is actually chapter 9. That connects to that. But in between, he used this verse because he wanted to actually mainly explain Krama Mukti. In Vedanta, there is one we have heard, which is Jivan Mukti, which is liberation while living. And then there is Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti is liberation after the body falls. And then the third one, in between one, is the Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti is liberation in stages. And that is what this chapter is all about. So he has brought this in just because he wanted to explain it to Arjun and to us as well. Now, by introducing the new words, new in the sense, those three words were never used before in the previous 6 chapters. Of course, Arjun is going to be curious, and of course, he's going to ask what they are. And that's exactly what Bhagwan wanted. And that's exactly how Arjun starts. We start the 8th chapter. Atha Ashtamodhyayah Arjuna Uvacha Kim Tad Brahma Kim Adhyatmam Kim Karma Purushottama Adibhutam Cha Kim Proktam Adidaivam Kim Uchate Adi Yajna Katham Kotra Dehesmin Madhusudana Prayana Kale Cha Katham Niyosi Niyatmavihi. I read both those together because these are the questions. These are the questions that now he has put. There are 7 questions here. What is that Brahman? Because he used the word knowing Brahma, right? What is that Brahman is the first question. What is Adhyatma? Second. What is action? Karma. O best among men, what is declared to be the Adibhuta and what is Adidaiva said to be? All these words he heard in the previous verse. And O best among men, Purushottama, he is addressing Bhagwan as the best among men, Purushottama, Purusha Uttama Purushaha. So he says, you will know, you use the word, so you will know, and you are the thing. And the next one, when and how is Adi Yajna here in this body, O destroyer of Madhu? And how at the time of death are you to be known by the self-controlled? This word self-controlled here is very important. Niyatatma bihi. Niyat atma here is mind. Atma bihi. So one who has controlled his mind, one whose mind is under his control, how exactly does he remember you at the last moment? Now, all the questions are answered in like 2 verses, but then this how he knows me at the last moment, that is then takes up the rest of the chapter, the verses. So there's nothing, these are just straightforward questions, so there is no hidden meaning or anything, because he heard the words, he's saying, what is all this, you please tell me. That's all there is to the first 2 verses. Okay, now Bhagavan starts. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavodhyatmam Uchate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha Visarga Karma Sannitaha. Brahman is the imperishable, the supreme. His essential nature is called self-knowledge. The offering, the creative force that causes beings to spring forth into manifestation is called work. So see, the first, he's answering exactly as the questions were asked. So first question was, what is that Brahman? So Aksharam Brahma Paramam, that's it. That is the answer of that question. Finish. Okay. Now we have to understand that. So Brahma here, what question is being asked is not about Brahma Ji, it is being asked about Brahman. So what is Brahman is the question. And he qualifies this word Brahman by 2 words, Aksharam and Paramam. So Brahman is Aksharam also and Paramam also. Akshara means perishing, and Akshara means non-perishing, imperishable. So there is, Brahman is that which is imperishable, and it is supreme, Paramam. So we have to understand these 2 words because they are qualifying Brahman. So Akshara, Om is considered as the indicator of Brahman. What does imperishable mean? Okay. So when we consider Om as the pointer to Brahman, it's a pointer. So the way, so which means Om is imperishable. See, this word Akshara in Hindi and Marathi, the alphabets are known as Akshara. Alphabets are known as imperishable. Okay. Why are the alphabets imperishable? Why is Om imperishable? That is what we need to understand. And then Om being an indicator of Brahman, that Brahman also is imperishable, that which can never have any disease, decay, change, modification. That is the substratum. Okay. Om is made up of 3 syllables, A, O, and Ma. So A and U are the vowels if you take the English language, and then M is the consonant, which means that A, O, and Ma represent all the 26 alphabets in the English language. I'm taking English language because that is most familiar to me, and it's easy, 26 alphabets only, not like many. So these 26 alphabets are represented by Om. Okay. And no matter what name is there in this universe, that name is made out of the 26 alphabets only. Okay? No matter which name you take, whether it's the name of a human being, animal, plant, fruit, vegetable, whatever, everything is made up of within these 26 alphabets, permutation and combination of these 26 alphabets. Name makes sense only when a form is associated with it. Right? If I say apple, then immediately the form of an apple will come in your mind, and that apple, the word apple will make some sense. If I say chiripiti, then nothing is going to come to your mind. So if the name has to make any sense, there has to be a proper form attached to it. Okay. All right. So name and form, they go together. So first the form comes and then comes the name. So we see a form and then we see, oh, that looks like a table. It has got 4 legs and, I can write on it or something. And then I call it a table or a chair or a computer, whatever. Even as a child, when the child is born, then you see the gender, then you name the child. So the form comes first, name comes afterwards. Now, when the form gets destroyed, name also gets destroyed that form. Okay, because if suppose if I have a table and that table is now, it's destroyed, then the word table also has gone with it. But just because the word table went away with it, did the alphabets go anywhere? Did the alphabets get destroyed? That is what is to be there. Table, the word got destroyed because why? The form got destroyed. Suppose if there is an apple, now I eat that apple, apple is gone. But are the alphabets A, P, P, L, and E gone as well? No. The alphabets never go away anywhere. And that is why they are known as akshara. They don't perish. Form perishes. Along with that form, the name that was given to that form also perishes. Nevertheless, the alphabets never perish. They are still there. And that's why they are akshara. Now, Om being a representation of the name, it is also a representation of the form, because the name without a form doesn't make any sense. So whenever there is a name, some form has to come into our mind. So name and form go hand in hand. And Om being a representation of all the alphabets, the name is coming from Om, but the name can go away. Name can go away, but Om never go. The alphabets never go anywhere. The name given to a particular form will be destroyed when that particular form is destroyed. There's a table in my house, it's destroyed. That table word is gone, but the alphabets are not gone anywhere. And that is what is meant by akshara, that which never perishes anywhere. Brahman is said to be akshara, okay, imperishable, because it is, we have given the example previously, the electricity and the appliances. Now the appliances can be disconnected, appliances can get destroyed, but the electricity, nothing happens to the electricity. So name and form are dependent on Brahman. Why? Because that is the substratum, that is the existence principle upon which this name and form are happening, are dancing. It is as though this dance of name and forms is happening. The world is nothing but names and forms. Okay, if you see the world, then there is the house, there is the computer, there is the book, there's the mouth, there's this, there's trees, there's mountains. Every form we see in this world has a name associated with it, but everything is experienced by us as existence only. The tree is existing, the mountain is existing, the book is existing. So that existence principle is Brahman, which is Akshara. So the mountain can get destroyed. Mountain can, earthquake happens, mountain goes away. We've seen that over periods. They say there were glaciers, then the snow went away, then the water came. And that word mountain will go away. But where the existence principle will go, no, it never goes anywhere. That is what is to be understood from this word Aksharam. Aksharam Brahma. But is it only Akshara? Because there is another qualifying word, which is Paramam. Paramam is supreme. Here it means biggest. Biggest means what? What is biggest? Biggest means that which has no limitations at all. So what kind of limitations do we usually experience in our day-to-day life? There are limitations on account of three things. One is a limitation of space, one is a limitation of time, and one is a limitation of objects. So it will be very easy for us to understand from what we know, because we are a limited individual. It is very easy for us to understand what a limitation is, because we are limited. We were limitless, then that's why limitless is hard to understand. What do you mean limitless? So let's understand what is meant by limit. So when we understand what is meant by limit, then the opposite of that is limitless. That is how it is to be understood. So when I look at myself, I say I'm limited by space. And why do I say that? Because I'm saying I'm sitting here. So I'm not in my living room. I'm not in my kitchen. I'm not in my bedroom. I'm nowhere else in the universe. right? Because that I'm sitting here, so I'm not in India. I'm not anywhere outside of my building. Also, I'm not there. That is what is meant by limitation of space. Next is limitation of time. So time means what? I know that this date I came into existence. I was born on this day, and I've seen many other people dying. So I know that someday, I don't know what day, but someday that is going to come. That is a limitation of time. I know when I came, when I began, or when I took birth, and there will be an end to that beginning. So there became a limitation of time. And then there is a limitation of objects. So the limitation of objects means I am sitting here on this chair. Now nothing else can sit here either. Something can be kept on my lap, but nobody else can, no other object can occupy this chair because I am occupying it. So where I am there, no other object can be there. And that is a limitation of object. This is what limited means. So now if we have to go opposite of this, what is, because limitless is opposite of limit, unlimited or limitless. So when I say limitation of space, I said, I am here and nowhere else. Limitless means not only I am here, but I'm everywhere else in the universe as well. Understand limitless. So I think that I'm only here in this room. No, I'm in this room. I'm in the next room. I'm in the next country. I'm in the next continent. I'm in the next universe. I'm in the next whatever, how many suns and galaxies there are. I'm all there also. That is what is meant by no limitation of space. That is what is being indicated by Paramam. So Brahman is that which is all pervading. It is everywhere, not only just here where I am, but everywhere else in this entire universe. Limitation of time, it began at some point and it will end at some point. Brahman never began at all, ever, ever. Because it does not have a beginningless, it is beginningless, it is also endless. That is what is meant by no limit of time, space, time. And object means, I said, if I am here sitting on this chair, nothing else can be sitting on this chair as well. But where Brahman is concerned, Brahman is in and through the objects. In and through every object, Brahman is there. So Brahman is here also where I'm sitting, and Brahman is there also where this inert object is there in the form of existence, but Brahman is in between here as well. This absence is also of the nature of existence because I'm saying there is nothing between me and the computer. There is nothing. Isness is there. That isness is what Brahman is. That is what is being indicated by Paramam. I've given you this example before, but there are again new people here. See, I say this is a tree, and then I cut the tree. Then I say these are the branches. Then I burn the branches. Then I say this is ash. Then I put the ash into the water. Then I say this is water. So from tree, the form and the name both changed because tree form got cut, so it became branches or pieces of wood. That got burnt, so they became ashes. From wood, pieces of wood, they became ash. And then I put the ash into the water. So now the ash is dissolved and now there is only water. So the name and form changed, like I told you, Aksharam, but what didn't change is the isness. This is a tree. This is a log of wood. This is ash. This is water. What has not changed is the isness. And that is what is Aksharam. And Paramam is that which is limitless. That is what Brahman is. This is that's it. Only 3 words, and Bhagavan has answered the first question. Okay, we have seen these ideas before, but every time there are new people coming and then there's confusion, but that's why I'm explaining. All right. Clear? Now, Swabhava Adhyatma Uchate. Next question was, what is Adhyatma? Right? Am I right? Yeah. Kim Adhyatmam is the next question. Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam is the second question. Bhagavan is answering just as he asked. So, Swabhava Adhyatma Uchate. Uchate said, it is said Adhyatma is Swabhava. The Swabhava word is divided into two syllables. Swabhava. Swa is one, Bhava is one. Swa is Swasya. Swasya Bhavaha is Adhyatma. What is Swa? Swa has got four meanings. One is self, one is species, mind, and wealth. Okay. Now, this out of these four meanings, self is the meaning that we take here. Swasya bhava, my bhava is adhyatma. What is my bhava? What is swabhava? What is my existence as? What am I existing as? That is swabhava. Bhava is existence, presence. Swa, my existence is like this jiva. Just in the morning class, I told you, this Brahman is reflecting in the subtle body, because of which the gross body is appearing to be sentient. That reflection is what Swabhava is. That is what it is. Swabhava Adhyatma. That's why, when we say Om Shanti, 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 we say, let there be peace at the Adhyatmic level. Adhyatmic is what is inside me, within me. Individualized Brahman is Adhyatma. Brahman is the totality, okay? That is everywhere, all pervading. And that's exactly what we studied in the morning class, that its reflection in me is known as Adhyatma. Bhagavan is saying it is Swabhava, your own self. My own self is that jiva, is that reflection, and understanding that reflection is nothing but Brahman is what will free me of all the sorrows. He said, what is Adhyatma is the question. He says, Swasya Bhavaha, the reflection of that consciousness, which is happening in the subtle body. That reflection, also known as Jiva, also known as ego, also the one who is taking responsibility for all the actions that everybody else is doing. Mind is doing, bringing in something. Intellect is making a decision based on memory. Then the intellect is telling the organs of action to do something. All this responsibility Adhyatma is taking. So Bhava is taking. Swasya Bhavaha. So Brahman is Aksharam and Paramam. Swabhava is Adhyatma. It is not said that Swabhava is Aksharam and Paramam. What is not Jiva, even though it is Brahman, the Jiva hood is not permanent. If it would have been permanent, we would have been permanently sorrowful. But we do see that we get glimpses of happiness. We do see that there are masters who recognize their oneness, and they are then eternally happy because Brahman is of the nature of bliss. So, Swabhava Adhyatma Uchyate. Now, here, understand one thing. Brahman is the absolute reality. Those who are new, if they can't understand these terms, it's okay. It's the absolute reality. The superimposition is Adhyatma. Superimposition. Okay. So what is being superimposed? There is this original, Brahman. On that is being superimposed the qualities of the body, mind, and intellect. That's why I say that I am female. I am 5'4". I am so and so. I am, happy, sad. I am dull, intelligent. So all these qualities, the body is female. The body is 5'4". The mind is happy or sad. The intellect is dull or intelligent. But all these things I am superimposing on that Brahman, which is nothing. It is neither tall nor short. It is neither happy nor sad. It is neither intelligent nor dull. So that's why this Brahma is the absolute reality. And Swabhava, Adhyatma, is a superimposition on that Brahman. Now, if there is a superimposition happening, he has to give us a method of desuperimposition. This is, Vedanta is all about this Adhyaropa Apavada. There is a superimposition, and that has to be desuperimposed. So that's why the next line, because then the next question is Kim Karma. Correct? If I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. Yeah. Kim karma purushottama. Kim tad brahma, kim adhyatmam, first verse. Kim karma. So third is karma. So Brahma, absolute. Adhyatmam, superimposition. Karma, desuperimposition. This is how this goes. This is the main thing. Otherwise, it's a very simple verse on top of. Now, what is karma? What is he saying? What is karma? Bhuta bhava udbhavaha udbhava karaha visargaha karma. Sannitaha is said. It is said with work. What is work? Work is given this many qualifications. One is bhuta, one is bhava, one is udbhava, one is kara, and then visarga. And then there is visarga. Okay. So just now Ganpati happened, right? So what we do, we avanam, we invite Ganpati, and then we do visarjan, right? We send him in the water. We do visarjan, no? This thing. So visarga, this word visarga is similar to that visarjanam. So what is this visarjanam that we have to do? Bhuta, bhavati bhuta. Bhuta is beings. One thing, karma adhikara is only for humans. Animals do action, but they are done out of instinct. They do not have choice. But we as humans, we do have a choice. So bhuta bhava, that which is done by the beings, and beings here only includes humans. It doesn't, because I have told you that previously we've had this word bhuta. When bhuta, at one point it could mean all the beings. But here, because it is referring to karma, it cannot mean animals, because they don't have karma adhikara, because they don't have a choice. Karma is, when we use our choice, when we use our faculty of intelligence and we do some action, then only it is action. Otherwise, it is not considered as action. So animals, they just live by instinct. They do not get merit or demerit. That is also to be understood. Just because a tiger will kill a lion and deer and eat it, it is not getting papa karma. It's killing now. If we kill out of choice, then we'll get papa. But tiger doesn't get, lion doesn't get papa karma, because that is his instinct. That is how he lives. So that is the difference. Udbhava karaha. Udbhava, Udbhava is that which gives rise. That gives rise to what? To visarga, to visarjanam. Okay. So karma is that which gives rise to dissolution. Dissolution of what? Dissolution of ego. What are we dissolving when it comes to doing karma? Why should we be doing, how should we be doing that karma, without which we cannot live? Humans cannot live without doing action. Chapter 3, we have seen that details in chapter 3. Now, if I cannot live without doing action, then is there a way that I can do these particular actions so as to bring about a desuperimposition of the superimposition that has happened? When I am thinking that I am separate from Brahman, from the pure consciousness, and I am taking responsibility for everything that is happening, and because of that I'm becoming happy and I'm also becoming sad, is there a way out? Is there a way out of that cycle? And that way is karma. That's what he's saying. So what is karma means, in very simple terms, he's saying karma yoga is only karma. When you do every action with a sense of duty, with a sense of detachment, with prasada buddhi, with samatvam, equanimity, all these things, they become a method of visarjanam, of dissolution of that superimposition. That's what he's saying here. The actions that are done by action which is done with a particular attitude only is action as per Bhagavan, because all other actions are binding you to the cycle of life and death. They're binding you to samsara. When you do things with doership, visarjanam of doership is to be done. Visarjanam of enjoyership is to be done. So when you dissolve the doership, or you at least liquefy it a little bit, there is a difference between doer and servant, sevak. Karta is that doer, very strong ego. So this doer, in our ignorance, when we have not come into this, into these studies, we think, I'm the one that is doing this, I'm the one that is doing it, I'm the one, and I will enjoy, and I will get the result, and I. That is a strong ego, indication of strong ego. From there, as spiritual seekers, as students of Bhagavad Gita, we bring ourselves down to sevak. Sevak is what? Servant. One who does seva, one who serves, is a servant. So not that you become servant of some other human being or anything, servant of God, servant of Guru, servant of your nation, doing something for a higher altar. That when we have that attitude while doing every action, then that ego is a little bit liquefied. It is not as strong as doer. This is what is meant by visarga. How do we do visarga? Visarjanam. So that strong doership to be reduced to a doership of either an instrument. I'm an instrument of the Lord. I'm a servant of the Lord. So it's conversion of karma into karma yoga. And what is to be given up? Visarga is to give up. Visarjana means you're giving up. The idol, visarjan, you gave up the idol, right? So what needs to be given up in our case is doership and enjoyership. And then that alone Bhagwan calls as karma. That karma which helps you to de-superimpose is only karma. Anything which will encourage the superimposition, which will encourage your thought that you are the doer and you're something different from God, will create future births. And so that doesn't fall under karma. So first three questions he answered in one this thing. Okay. We have seen all these things before as well. All right. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushaschaधिदैवतम् adhiyajñohamevatra dehe dehabhratamvara. Adibhuta, now the next question. What is Adibhuta? Constitutes my perishable nature, and the indweller or the essence is the Adi Daivata. I alone am the Adi Yajna here in this body, O best of the embodied. Dehe, Deha Bratam Varaha. These three words are addressing Arjun. Arjun. He didn't use a name per se, but he says the best among the embodied. See, we are all embodied, na? We have got a body. So everybody who has got a body is embodied. Okay. So this jiva, which is embodied, Bhagwan is saying, Dehe Dev, you are embodied, but you are the best among them. Because why is Arjun the best? Because he surrendered to Lord. When he had a question, he surrendered. That is what we need to do. We need to surrender to this knowledge and try and get more and more knowledge. And that way, when we go deeper into this knowledge, questions will reduce because we'll get the answers. But we have to have patience. Suddenly, first day you come and then all your answers cannot be answered. Okay? So, Adibhutam Ksharaha Bhavaha. See, Aksharam Brahma was used, and now he's saying Kshara Bhava means that which is Kshara, that which is perishing. Whatever that is perishing is Adibhutam. So, what is Adibhutam now here? Body. Body is perishing. Day, every minute, body is perishing. So, Adibhutam is referring to the body. Okay. Ksharabhava. Purusha Chadi Adi Daivatam. So Adi Daivata is Purusha. Now here this Purusha must be understood correctly. What is this Purusha? See, because Purusha word we have heard for pure consciousness also. Purusha we have heard for human being also. Man is Purusha only. So what does he mean Adi Daiva? What is Adi Daiva? This Adi, see, because when we say Shanti, we say Adhyatmik, Adi Daivik, and Adi Bhautik, right? So Adi Bhuta, he said, Adi Bhautik. So what there, how we explain Adi Bhuta is that which is within my control. And Adi Daiva is something which is not in my control. Okay. Now here what he's saying is Purusha. So who is this Purusha exactly? We have to understand one thing. See, that even science is now saying there are many, many galaxies, there are 1,000 suns. Sun means not SONS, SUNS. There are so many the same, right? Okay. So what Shastra tells us is that there are many Brahmandas. Brahmanda is a universe. Okay. So there are many, like they say, there are many galaxies, there are many Brahmandas. All right. Okay. Means, say, individual worlds, you can say. There are, like, we only know this earth world, but now they're saying there is aliens, and that Shastra says that each Brahmanda has got a Brahma, a Vishnu, and a Mahesh. So creator, sustainer, and destroyer. So each world has Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So world number 1, world number 2. So number 2 will also have BVM. 3 will also have BVM. Now, the Brahmaji or Vishnu and Mahesh of Brahmanda 1 has no connection whatsoever with Brahmanda 2. No control, no connection, no control over the jivas, nothing. It's like, like you can say, like country, like our country is governed by our government, and then there's some other country, then we have got nothing to do with their government or their governing policies or whatever, like that. So like that, these Brahmandas are there. Now, the creator, Brahmaji, he creates, so he needs material, right? Where is this material going to come from? There is only 5 elements out of which all the Brahmandas are created only from the 5 elements. So the 5 elements have to come from somewhere. Where are they coming from? They are now coming from Hiranyagarbha. Now, even though there are many Brahmandas and there are many Brahmajis and Vishnujis and Maheshjis, Ishvara is only one. Ishvara is only one. Okay. So Ishvara is on the top and his mind is Hiranyagarbha. This Purusha Adi Daiva, this is that Hiranyagarbha. This Purusha is referring to that Hiranyagarbha. It's not Brahman. The Brahman has been explained. Aksharam Brahmam Paramam. Finished. Brahman is finished. That has been explained. So this Adi Bhutam is the individual bodies which are perishing. Okay, that is individual. This Purusha, Adi, Daiva, that's why we say Adi Daivik, we have no control over it. When we say Shanti, 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 what do we say? Adi Bhuta also we don't have control, but what I said, at least I should pay my electricity bill so my internet is working. That at least is in my control, na? To pay the bill. That also is not actually in my, but some control. But do I have control over hurricane and earthquake and rain and flood? And I have no control. That's why this Purusha is referring to that Hiranyagarha, which is providing the material. Material is the same in all the Brahmandas. No matter which Brahma, which galaxy you belong to, your body will be made out of space, air, fire, water, and earth. That's it. Now, each Brahmaji, how are we created? And this was the question in the morning class. So now listen carefully. We are same, we said everybody is Brahman, but each one. So these 5 elements that create the body are created how? As per my vasanas, as per the blueprint that I have provided Brahmaji. So in my past life, I have done actions, I have thought of thoughts, whatever, telling Brahmaji that I want to be, I want my body to be female. I want my body to be so much height. I want to be born in this family. I have only told Brahmaji. So the material is the same, and Brahmaji now, as per those vasanas, is creating these various bodies. That's why I am poor and somebody else is rich. I am working so hard, but I don't get results. But somebody else, I see they hardly work and so many good results they are getting. I have done it myself. That's why there's no blame game. There's no blame game. So this Purusha now provides the material, okay, which is pliable. You know, material has to be molded into body, subtle mind, everything. So the the material, which is the same for all Brahmandas, is molded by Brahmaji. Understand? So Brahmaji wants to make a pot, then he'll mold it into a pot shape. He wants to make it into a cat, he'll mold it into a cat shape, because that material is is moldable. It can be molded. The 5 elements can be like clay. You mix clay, then you can mold it into whatever, or you put gold ornaments you want. You heat up the gold, then it becomes soft, it becomes pliable, and then you shape it into whatever shape that you want. That is how these 5 elements are. Okay. And then Brahmaji has control over his only one Brahmanda. He has no control over the other. He has no control over the jivas. Those jivas have preordained their own this thing. They've told their Brahmaji, this is how this I should be. This is how I should be. The one who is providing this material to everybody, same material being provided. It's, like a wholesale paint guy is there, right? So there is we have general paints, and we have this paints and that paints. See, they are providing whatever the architect is telling them, this paint I want for this. They are providing the paint. What the architect does with that, maybe same paint is bought by 2, but one might use it for the living room, one might use it for the kitchen, or one might put it on the exterior. What that architect does, the paint company is not concerned. Architect said, send me this much paint. So Brahmaji will say, okay, now these many jivas have to be created. I need this much material. Now, how I mold the material is not your concern. That is Purusha here. Adi Daivik. Purusha doesn't know what vasanas I have done. Providing material. Hiranyagarbha is providing material. Okay. This Hiranyagarbha, this Purusha that Bhagavan is saying, Adi Daivik, is the Hiranyagarbha that is providing material for all the Brahmandas. Okay. Adi Yajna, Aham Eva Atra, Aham Eva Adi Yajna, Aham, I am only that Adi Yajna. So Aham means what? Are you Brahman? Yes. Aham, I am Brahman, but Adi Yajna is that which is expressing through individual bodies. This Aksharam Brahma Paramam that was said in the 3rd verse is the totality. That's the absolute reality. Okay. That is totality. That is complete. This Adi Bhutam is the body. Why? Because Kshara Bhava. What is perishing? Perishing is body, means body, mind, intellect. Everything is perishing. All 3. So that is Adi Bhutam. What is Purusha? Purusha is the one that is supplying all the material for making up of the bodies. The one who is material has to be there, no? If body is there, then material has to be there, right? If this computer is to be, some material has to be there, plexiglass or plastic or whatever it is, that way. And Adi Yajna is me. Aham eva atra. That's what he's saying here. Adi Yajna here in this body. I alone am the Adi Yajna here in this body. This is what is telling us the oneness between Adi Yajna, Jiva and Brahman. He's saying, I alone am. So as the totality, I am Brahman. I am Brahman. That's totality. Okay. Adhyatma is what? My reflection happening in the individual body is Adhyatma. So you are superimposing the qualities of the body, mind, and intellect on me, on Brahman. Fine. Then because superimposition is happening, how do you desuperimpose? Is by doing karma with the right attitude. Karma with the right attitude means karma yoga. That's all. Karma, that's all karma you can do with karma is converted into karma yoga by changing the attitude in your mind. Karma doesn't change. We saw that. Whatever is your karma in life, whatever is your action, ordained action, you do. If you have a job, you do the job. If you have whatever job that you have, changing that work is not converting karma into karma yoga. Or volunteer work, that is a very big mistake that people think. Volunteering, they think, is karma yoga. Of course, people they don't even have the concept of karma yoga, because I see that there is so much ego at play, and everybody's volunteering and nobody's getting paid also, but there is so much ego at play. So volunteering by itself is not karma yoga. Just because you're not taking a paycheck from something to work, if you have the doership that I am doing so good. So we had a lady who, she's now passed on. She was a great knitter, and she would knit for the, the old age homes and hospitals, like, so in bulk, gloves and sweaters, bulk. And so now her name came in the paper that time. Of course, that, so that ego was there. See, my photo is in the paper because I knitted so much. So she did good work. She did not take money for it. She was knitting constantly. Okay. Maybe because of that, but her death was really nice. Really, it was real fun. I still remember, because April 12th was our AGM at the senior center. She was sitting next to me and knitting. She was constantly knitting. So knitting. May 12th, she was gone. I'm like, what? She was sitting to her just fine. She was just fine. She was sitting to me, talking to me, knitting. And May 12th, they're like, oh, she's gone. I'm like, what? Because yeah, right after that, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And the doctor said, nothing can be done. Just take her home. Boom, she was gone. So extremely good death. There's not too much suffering. But the point is, volunteering itself, don't think is karma yoga. But if you are doing volunteering and you do not take any credit for it, don't have the doership. See, sometimes people have ego. Oh, I don't need any thank you. I don't need that. That's superficial. But so that is this bhuta bhava, udbhava, what is being created is visarjanam is being created. What is visarjanam? Doership is being dissolved. Doership and enjoyership, when you do visarjanam, udbhava, it is giving rise to karma. That is what Bhagavan is saying. That is the correct karma to be done. And that way only desuperimposition can happen. Adi bhutam kshara, that which is perishing. So anything in this world that you see is perishing. For us, we have to see our own body, which is perishing. Everything else in the world is also perishing outside. But body, Adi bhutam is body. Purusha is the one, Adi Daiva, who is providing all the material for all the creations in all the galaxies, sun, whatever that you say in this entire universe. Purusha has no control, or doesn't control what type of body should come. Brahmaji is controlling that. So therefore, there is Brahmaji, there is Vishnu who is sustaining, and then there is Mahesh, the destruction. Okay. And then Adi Yajna, he says, is my own expression through the body. So individual pure consciousness, or individual Jiva. I am Jiva only. This is what he's saying. Jiva Brahma Aikya is telling us here. It's me only. Through the individual body, that is me. That's it. He answered all the questions. Any questions? Okay. Does that answer your question, Ankit? You asked a question in the morning class, right?
Yeah, because right now, honestly, my mind is so overwhelmed. Like,
yeah.
I can't just keep on, like, I'm like, I really feel excited. I get like so many answers, but it's just like, overwhelming stuff. Like, it's so excited. Like, so it's so confusing. My mind is right now is not clarity. It's just giving me a lot of like excitements, oh, I'm there, but it's,
but you have to keep listening.
Yeah.
Example we give is, see, if you just add a teaspoon of sugar to the tea and drink it, that sugar is not going to, it has to be stirred. So the information has to come in. Now you have to stir it in your mind. And that's why you need to listen and listen. That's why I'm telling, that's why I brought, otherwise, if you were not there, I wouldn't have brought. But this is the point I'm telling you, is why
No,
there
really,
is a difference.
I honestly, I feel really grateful to just like listen to you to get little bit more in-depth knowledge within me. Like the questions you answered, like I got a little bit of like doubt which I have within me. It like little bit got cleared. So yeah, so like mind right now, my mind is little overwhelmed. Like, oh wow, like this is how it is,
That's
and what I
okay.
was
That's
thinking,
okay.
right? There was how I was thinking and how I got the answer, right?
Yeah.
So that's why my mind is like that state. So,
That's
but
okay.
that's okay. I really like feel like so blessed, like grateful. Like I get a little bit of knowledge.
Just keep listening. All that overwhelming will go. You'll get settled. You're new. You're very new. So you
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
settle. Okay. And this, we are on
So
the 8th chapter. You have to listen from the first chapter. This is, we are on the 8th chapter. Okay. So I'm going to just read the next verse because now he's going to answer from 5 till the end is the answer of the last question. The last question that Arjun asked was, Prayana kale cha katham neyosi niyatatmabihi. Prayana kala, prayana departure. At the time of departure of what? At the time of departure of this body, how does one know you? The one who has led a self-controlled life. So that is important. That he's qualifying it. He's not saying, how does anybody know you? He's not saying that. He's saying, how does a person who has led his life with self-control, how does he know you? That is the now answer to all the verses are an answer to that question. I'm going to just read it. We'll go into it next time. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastatra samshayah. And whosoever, leaving the body, goes forth remembering me alone, M capital M, please note, at the time of his death, he attains my being. There is no doubt about this. So Bhagavan says that at the last minute, whoever remembers me, maybe is of a controlled mind, maybe is of a not controlled mind, whoever remembers me will come to me. The question is, if the mind is not being controlled, will that person remember Bhagavan at the last minute? That is the question. So we have to see that. Okay. Any questions? We will continue next Sunday, and the next long weekend, I believe, is 13th October, now 14th October. So we'll have our classes till then. It's a short chapter. It's not a very big chapter. 30, 30, I mean, 20, 28 only. 28 verses. So not this thing, but it's important. We have to understand all these things. All right. So if there are no questions, then we'll close for today. Tomorrow there is class, Narad Bhakti Sutra, and we'll continue with Friday as well. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Kshobarahita Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay, Hari Om everybody. I shall see some of you tomorrow. Okay.
thank you so much.
Hari. Thank you.